to another history podcast with me, Mr. Allsopp.
And myself, Mr. Baxter.
And today we're going to be talking about public health in the 19th century. Do you know what I mean by public health?
The health of people.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. It is the general health of the public. And in the
Which
sense,
I imagine at that time was not good.
wasn't the best.
No.
And it's mainly to do with the sort of conditions that they're living in.
Squalor.
Squalor.
Can we use squalor
Squalor.
many times? That's such an underused word.
Squalor.
Yeah, that's 2 minutes, don't we?
But yeah, so it is this idea that public health at the start of the 19th century, so we're looking at 1800, is rubbish.
Okay.
Living conditions are terrible. We're sort of in the heat of the Industrial Revolution. We've got these slums that are growing because everyone's rushing to the cities and they're living in really tight, densely compact houses that are just disgusting and horrible and smelly.
Sounds like turn this into a geography podcast
Well,
with the slums.
yeah,
Dharavi, Mumbai, thank you.
Yes, but we're talking Birmingham, London, Nottingham.
Right.
Did you know that?
Go on.
This is the fact that my history teacher told me, and I trust her because Mrs. Andrews was
Teachers don't lie, do they?
very, very knowledgeable, and she said that the greatest slum, the largest slum by population outside of London at this time period was Broadmarsh, Nottingham.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's very
So
interesting.
Broadmarsh Shopping Centre used to be a massive slum area,
Used to be.
but they obviously flattened the slum.
Okay.
But yeah, so all of these people, thousands of people in that small area, all
Wow.
packed me. So obviously you can imagine, rubbish everywhere, human waste,
What did they do with that?
chuck it in the street.
Did they?
No sewers.
No.
No sewers. Chuck it in the street, get it going, it'll flow out and flow into the Trent if it's Nottingham, flow into the Thames if it's London. But anyway, yeah, so that's what the conditions were like. Horrible conditions. The poor people are getting it worse. And sadly...
They never get a break, do they?
Well, no. Sadly, the government at the time are thinking, and most people as well, not just the government, most people are thinking that it's not the government's job to intervene with people's lives. Okay?
Okay, right.
People's mess is their own mess. That's their problem. The government shouldn't have to clean up after them.
Well, if someone was throwing their waste on my land, someone else needs to intervene, because I'm going to be like, well, that's not on. And they're going to be like, well, it's my waste, I can do what I want with
That's
it.
not...
I need someone to intervene.
It'd have been sorted between themselves, I guess. That would have been the way to do it.
Well, no one wins in that fight,
No.
do they? No.
Just
no.
lots of
Dirty
smelly,
protests.
dirty protests. Yeah. Anyway, but attitudes do begin to change.
Okay, good.
Do you mean
For the
change?
better. Good.
There is, and we're not going to go into the politics of it, but there is something called the Great Reform Act, which is passed in 1832, and it's not that great actually. But
They're always giving
the
ironic
Great
names, aren't they?
Reform Act of 1832, and all it does essentially is expand the voting franchise, so more people can vote.
Right.
It's still only pretty rich people, but a lot of these people
So should we call it the good reform?
The good,
even
the
though
average
the
reform.
average, yeah.
a lot of these people who can now vote are sort of rich business owners who are new money, who have got rich in the Industrial Revolution.
Ah, okay.
And they want their workers to have better conditions because some of them believe if they have better conditions, they'll work harder and make them more
Happy
money.
workers are more productive
Exactly,
workers.
yes.
Right, good, yeah, okay.
So they campaign and look to improve conditions, and there's a lot of things that that help progress. There's basically just a desire for more intervention in people's lives. So, a couple of other things that began to sort of fuel change. We've got John Snow and his conclusion about cholera being transmitted through dirty water, which we'll look at in a later podcast. We'll look at Pasteur's discovery of germs in 1861, which we'll also look at in a later podcast. But for today, we're going to talk about someone called Edwin Chadwick.
Edwin.
Yes.
Okay. Never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
No, he can't be that. He can't be that important, can
He's
he?
very important.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you think about your sewers and your sinks with running water and everything like that, all started with Edwin Chadwick.
So I've got a lot to thank him for then.
Well,
Well, do tell me. Do tell me more.
I will. So he is a Manchester-born lawyer, nothing to do with medicine. But when he's studying law, he becomes interested in social reform,
Okay.
which is essentially change to society.
Right.
And the thing that he really gets involved in, and when he gets involved with government, is there's a typhus epidemic, which is a really nasty disease.
It doesn't sound great.
Typhus.
Typhus.
Sounds deadly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, in 1838, and the government employs Chadwick to sort of investigate. And this is really significant because it's the first time that the government employs someone to look into the causes of disease.
Right.
The first real time that's being done. So that's a big sort of
Go Edwin.
Yeah, Edwin is a
I
pioneer.
am now # Team Edwin.
Hashtag Team Edwin.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's then interested. He's hooked on this idea of improving sanitation, and he takes it upon himself to, with his own money, quite a rich man, but with his own money, begin researching and looking into what conditions are actually like and why they might be causing disease. Okay, so
The more and more we talk about him, the more I like him.
he's
He's a good lad. I bet he saved countless lives.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we will see.
And it is a very, very boring and mundane job. Not like us,
No,
but
we're everything but bored.
Everything but bored. It's a very, very, very boring job, and he just sends out questionnaires all around the country. And imagine before the days of email, whatever, that's pretty difficult.
Sure, they'd gone straight in the bin.
I expect a lot of people
He's
to
making these results up.
probably just chuck them straight in the bin. But places like builders, prisons, police, hospitals, poorhouses, places like that, and they'd send them back, and he published this report, and it is possibly the most boring sounding report in the history of
Sounds
reports.
right up your street.
You ready?
You read it?
Ready? No, of course
No.
I haven't. The sanitary condition of the labouring population of Great Britain.
Oh,
Did you get all that?
What a page turner.
The sanitary condition of the labouring population of Great Britain. What do you think that means?
I don't care. No one's read that. What a waste of his time and money.
The government must have done.
Okay.
Someone in the government must have, because
They've read the extraction and conclusion.
Yeah,
Abstract.
like every good uni student does.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it did. Someone in the government must have read it, because it led to change. It led to the 1848 Public Health Act. Right?
Yay,
So it
good.
led to the government doing something about these horrible conditions for the first time.
And you're claiming mainly it's due to his report.
Mainly, yeah.
Okay.
Mainly due to his report.
Good lad.
This act is, anyway. And what this act aimed to do was improve the conditions. So they're actually looking to do things.
So his report's come back. Questionnaires 1 to 10. How good is your sanitary conditions? And they're all putting zeros and ones.
Pretty much.
They look at it and think,
Yeah.
right, best sort it out.
So yeah, and the aim is, right, let's crack on, let's do
Yeah,
something
let's go.
about it. So what they do is they encourage towns and cities to set up boards of health and begin to provide clean water. Right, and they had some success.
Wait.
Did all right, yeah. In London there was 1,300 miles of sewers built
That's a
by
lot.
1865, which is
Good on
not
him.
bad. Yeah. Leeds banned sewage being pumped into the river, and Birmingham started demolishing slums and rehousing people elsewhere.
Yeah, okay.
So that's quite good, isn't it? But and there's always a but.
There is.
It wasn't compulsory to do these things.
No, it was encouraged but not enforced by law.
Yeah, perfect way of phrasing it. Basically, they didn't have to if they didn't want to,
Right.
which obviously still a lot of people didn't.
Everyone
want
always
to.
finds the easy way out.
Exactly.
Don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And change is happening here, London, Birmingham, Leeds, but not everywhere. So there's a problem. Luckily, after 1848, we get some good developments. We get John Snow doing his work with cholera, and we get Pasteur discovering germs. And germs.
Can't wait to hear about them in the next podcast.
Well, it's going to be exciting.
We really do.
But you know nothing, John Snow.
No, not at all.
Anyway, so after these improvements and these revelations that you'll learn about in another podcast, the government thinks, we need to do more. So basically, they pass another act,
Not another one.
imaginatively named the 1875 Public Health Act. And
Good at this, aren't we?
there are a ridiculous number of things that it says people had to do. Shall I list a few?
Please do. I'm on
Okay.
tenterhooks.
So, health boards had to provide clean water to stop disease that spreads in water.
Yeah, clean water.
They had to dispose of sewage,
Get rid of your sewage.
build sewers basically.
Yeah.
Build public toilets.
Okay. Grim.
Have you ever been in a public toilet?
I don't make a
Oh.
habit of it.
So the people that go, I live opposite a public toilet.
Do you?
Right, and
That says a lot about
there's
it.
some interesting characters go in there.
I bet you do.
Um,
Is it the one we have to pay to go in?
No.
No. Because they're still grimy and
Not in
horrible.
Kimberley,
Where's
no.
that money going?
Well, yeah.
Right.
Usually in train stations, aren't they?
Yeah. Once if you don't have, it's always awkward, like 13p. To go, I don't have that money on me. I don't carry any coins on me.
I bet in London they've got contactless there.
Yeah, I bet
Contactless
they have,
toilets.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
more developments. They had to be a public officer for health employed. New houses that were built had to be of a better quality.
Right, good.
Public parks had to be built for exercise.
Oh, okay. What's that got to do
Yeah.
with sanitation?
Well, it's just keeping
the-
you healthy. It's public health, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Create street lighting. So lamps in the street. We have electric ones now, but they'd have been lamps. And check. This is my favourite. Check the quality of food in shops to make sure that it didn't contain anything that could cause somebody harm. For example,
we've got an example. Go on.
some bakers mixed chalk into flour to make bread whiter.
Oh, right.
So yeah, they stopped all those things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's sorcery. You don't want to eat chalk, do you?
No. But yeah, that's what happened. And do you think that worked?
Well, like most things, I guess, eventually, but I bet it took a long time. I bet it wasn't appreciated until after he died.
Well, probably, yeah. Edwin Chadwick dies in 1890.
Right.
But success is pretty quick, and people crack on with this, and it's done pretty well. And the prevention of disease is pretty...
Improved?
Yeah, it's improved, and it's evident with the last cholera epidemic being in 1866 to 67.
Oh, so we've not had it since the last 1875 Public Health Act.
No. So there's been cholera existed, but there hasn't been an epidemic.
A big
The
outbreak.
first half of that century was plagued by cholera, constantly. Almost constantly.
No, that was great. I learned something.
Well, that's good.
That's
Shall I
it.
just quickly summarise?
Well, go on then.
So,
No one's listening at this point.
1800, they are, because it's the homework.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So by 1800, there's still little government intervention. Then we get an individual come along, Edwin Chadwick, who starts publishing reports, which leads to the 1848 Reform Act, which has limited success. But then we get John Snow and Pasteur, who make some developments, followed by the 1875 Public Health Act, which is much more successful, and then we get cleaner streets. So that's the end of this podcast. Goodbye for me.
And goodbye from me.